Hey guys, this is Ed, Paul, and Anna of Curb Media, and we are here to tell you a little bit more about our sponsor.
Sportsball is a great subscription service geared towards minor league baseball fans. Each box features a different minor league team.
You get a box every 3 months with minor league baseball gear, including different styles of hats like Ed's favorite, the dad hat. The cost is less than $12 a month.
Proceeds from each box goes to More Than Baseball, the only nonprofit dedicated to the well-being of minor league baseball players.
We all know that Parents' Days are coming up this summer, so if you've got a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa who are particularly difficult to buy for, but you know they're baseball fans, this is the answer, guys.
Meet your new favorite team at sportsballbox.com.
Is there anybody there?
What's up, Data Crew? Ed here, and on this episode, I give you my good friend Donnie Wise. Listen, we sat down for over an hour, so this is part one, okay? Part one of our conversation that we had together. We talked about baseball, collecting, Yankees, Guardians, what we love, what we don't like. And listen, it was a really good conversation, and it was a great way for you guys to get to know one of the nicest guys out there in the minor league community. So make sure you guys are following him while you guys are listening to this episode. But without further ado, guys, I'll give you the episode. All right. Well, I want to welcome you guys to yet another episode of the Data Chronicles. You guys know me, guys, already by now. You know the voice. My name is Ed, and with me, I have my very good friend, someone that I've actually met in person. We sat down, we enjoyed a baseball game. My good friend, Donnie Wise. How are you today, man?
I'm doing great, Ed. Good to be with you.
Oh man, we were just reminiscing before we got on, we were looking at the hats for this whole Marvel thing, and we're both, overall, in my opinion, I've been very underwhelmed by what has come out. So I bought a couple. I bought two. I don't know how many more I'm gonna buy, but other than that, I'm like, meh, meh.
Yeah, same here. I got a couple more I want to get. I'm gonna wait and see if some 920s come out in a couple of these that I want to get, and if not, then I'll just bite the bullet, get some 5950s.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. No 49s, no 47s. I mean,
no
47.
The new era thing is probably preventing that.
I'm guessing there was a hush hush partnership between Marvel, MILB, and New Era, and be like, no, we're going to be the ones who are going to handle this, exactly. And that's it. That's all right. I see how it goes. I mean, the new 920s have been very good for me. There's new material. They're very relaxed. They're not made from the same materials as the 5950. So I was very happy with that. So I've been very happy with the recent ones. And someone who, like myself, I wear glasses. So sometimes the 47s are very hard to wear because of the brim is too curved and I can't wear my glasses at the same time. But whatever, right?
Yeah, see, I wear reading glasses, so they're lower on my nose.
There you go. All right. So tell me, how and why did you become a fan of this great sport that we call baseball, my friend?
Probably like any kid in the 70s. You just started playing Little League. I mean, I started playing in 75. I was 7 years old. That was actually, I think, pre T-ball. I think coach, I don't ever remember playing T-ball. Coaches always pitched to us. My first year or first couple of years playing Little League, we played with wooden bats. I mean, I'm old, so
I will chuck to my water.
I actually pulled it out here. I've got my first trophy from
What?
Mini Mart, 1975 Mini Mart.
Look at that thing,
the
man.
First team I played on. So yeah, I still got a box with my old trophies. And I was like, I'm gonna find this one. So
Mini Mart, huh?
Mini Mart, yeah. So that was when I started, 1975, and I played all the sports as a kid, but baseball was always my love. I played football, probably from about 9 to 12 years old, something like that. And I played football in high school and stuff too, but it just never was a big love of mine. I wasn't that great at it, and I wasn't great at baseball either, but I was better at baseball than anything.
And
So,
just there's something about it, right? Like it sticks with you. Like I mean that's my favorite sport still.
yeah.
I love football, I love basketball, hockey, all of that fun stuff. But I always come back, I always find in every interview I have that I've done so far that is non-baseball related, I find a way to relate it back to baseball. If you haven't noticed that by now.
Oh yeah. It's just it's one of those games that just once it captures you, it does. I mean, I find myself sometimes even riding by the places that I used to play little league at. Some of those fields don't even exist anymore. Some of them you can see where the field used to be, but they've changed it to something else. And I just kind of reminisce on some of that sometimes. But I just always loved baseball, and it just was, like I said, it's the sport I gravitated to. Played on a lot of good teams. Like, it was just the way we were social back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was to play little league sports. I mean, we didn't have the stuff these kids have today, technology wise, to stay in touch. If you wanted to see your friends, you either went out in the yard or the neighborhood, or you went and played sports so you could see them several times a week.
You had to get the heck out of the house. That's how it was.
Exactly.
Don't come back until you see. If you don't see the street lights on, don't come back.
That's right. Exactly. So, yeah, I played up until high school. I wasn't good enough to play beyond that.
Mhm.
At least I didn't think I was. I mean, the way things are now, I don't know. I probably could have gone to a super small school and just walked on or played and just
Yeah.
kept playing, but I wasn't good enough to play at any
Heck, or
real high
even
level.
JUCO at this point, right? Like I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they're even playing some serious ball in those in JUCO, man. It's insane how good a lot of these kids are nowadays.
Well, they have so many more options we didn't have back then either. I mean, you played the seasons. You played
Yeah.
the baseball season, then you played football, or you played basketball in between. I played some church league, rec ball, basketball, but I was always ready for spring when baseball would start up, and it was always cold in February when you get
Right.
started, but you're ready to get out there and start throwing that ball, and
You start getting that itch to start playing, it's like, all right, let me get the
Exactly.
glove ready, let me get, going. And that's when you really start getting, pitchers and catchers and they show up in February, right? That's when everybody
Yep.
starts like, all right, here we go.
Yep. So yeah, I've been I'm in I don't have a fancy name like Johnny for my room, but I've recaptured the room from my kids' game room. Who knows? Maybe I'll come up with a really cool name like Johnny's got for his. But right now, it's just going to be kind of my memorabilia room because I've got so much stuff in Rubbermaid tubs. And like I said, I dug out the trophy. I actually I found my high school glove as well.
Nice. Look at that. It's still going on.
Yeah, it's a Mag Plus.
Man, you got to oil that sucker on and keep playing with it, dude.
I want to see how it holds up. I'm gonna throw some balls with it at some point and just see. I might have to see about getting it refurbished a little bit. I don't know. We'll see.
I know a guy. I know a guy.
I know the guy you know or know of it. But yeah, I may send it off to him and get him to kind of clean it up and make sure it's all good. But we'll see. I might go throw some balls in it just see if it holds up.
That's cool, man. I love that. I mean, the sound that it makes when the ball hits the glove.
Yeah,
there's nothing like it, ain't it?
No.
It's just beautiful sound.
Yep. So yeah, it's like I said, it's been a lifelong love. I've always loved baseball. And like I said, when I got through high school, when I got done with college, I started coaching. I just wanted to be around baseball. I didn't even have kids. My wife would come out to the games. I coached Little League for probably 4 or 5 years before we even had kids. And
no way.
Yeah, I started out with a 9 and 10-year-old group at the local rec center, and as those kids moved up to the next level, the dads that I had, I moved up with them to the next level, 11, 12, on up to 13, 14. I just kind of kept moving up, and had a lot of fun with that. Got to coach with a team that went to the state championship in Little League.
Nice.
Yeah, we lost on a very bad call. I got a little angrier than I should have, but it was just the emotion took me over. And
of course, you get involved in it, and you're
break
so
a clipboard
invested
in half, and you're not setting a good example for the kids. So I had to kind of catch myself there a little bit. But it was just disappointing for the kids that play at the plate and all. I mean, but it was fun doing that, and then I started doing coaching with fall baseball and some travel teams.
Yep.
Did a little bit of even college summer league in the early stages of some of that in this area, helping a guy run the team. I didn't necessarily coach the team, but I helped him run a college summer league team that played out of Newberry College for a few years.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, it was kind of the early stage. It was actually before the CPL, or maybe in conjunction sort of with that. It was, gosh, I'd have to look it back up, but it was some of the teams in the CPL, like the Florence Red Wolves, were
Yeah.
part of that, but they were
The Flamingos now.
yeah. So it was, but I mean, we're talking like back in the late '90s. So I mean, it's way back in the day of this early start of that stuff.
Like when it really started. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Coastal Plain League.
Yeah.
Love it, man.
So.
Look at you. So what position did you play?
I was an outfielder.
Okay.
I was, a $145 wiry little guy, and just roaming the outfield. I always loved the outfield.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play catcher. Yeah. I'm 6'2", and then my knees are not, they were never really good. Yeah. And so I could never. I played maybe I think it was like half a season in high school, but at that point I already knew that it was already too late for me, and it was just, I had to hang them up.
Yeah. I'd like to have played the infield. I didn't have the guts to play third base.
But... the hot corner, huh?
That's right. But I could have probably played short or second, but I've always loved the outfield. I just love getting out there in the outfield and chasing fly balls and tracking stuff down. And I love diving for balls. That was always fun for me. I did that all the way through softball until I got too old to realize that I shouldn't be doing that.
You shouldn't be diving at this age.
Yeah, you go out there for you go all out on the softball field, and next thing you know, you're in your mid 30s and your ribs are hurting, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't be doing that.
I'm 41 now, and you're like, and you don't get recover as easy as you used to when you were in your 20s.
Yep, exactly.
It takes you a couple of days just to recover from a run.
I actually got to play. This was kind of cool too. I almost had forgotten about it. I played in an over 30 league as a 28-year-old. I was trying to get involved with some adult baseball, and each team could carry 2 guys under 30 on their team. And so I found a local team here in Lexington, and we wore the Texas Rangers hats and played as the Rangers. And it's funny because a lot of the guys that were playing in that league were guys that were coaching high school baseball here that just still wanted to play.
Yeah, still had the itch.
Yeah, and I played some first base in that and some outfield, but I realized after about 2 seasons, I couldn't catch up to some of these pitches even at that age anymore. I mean, these guys were still bringing it pretty good.
Yeah, that's just crazy, right? Like, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's just, you just got to realize, I'm like, I don't think I can anymore. It's, I can't swing that bat as fast as I used to.
That's right. I went back to softball.
Softball, yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think I eventually want to get back into playing, but I think it'll be softball instead of baseball. Softball I can hit, right? Like, I mean, you can do that, here and there, and then the ball doesn't hurt as much as a baseball.
I think I could probably enjoy softball again. Like I said, I played for a lot of years, but then I got just too busy with other things. But I'd like to get back into that and maybe find a place where I could play.
You know what? I'm with you there. That's the same thing. I'm like, I want to get back into that. Now that I'm living down here, it's just I want to make sure I want to do something, stay active.
Exactly.
So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so let's talk about because you alluded this already because you already took over your room and your kids' old room. So one, how did you get started collecting, and two, is the wife also helping the addiction? Like my wife is now at this point.
Helping is probably not the word you should be using for either of us in that situation.
Right. You're right.
they are probably rolling their eyes as much as
I was like, why?
Each other. Yeah, like really another thing.
Yeah.
As a kid, again, it started with the baseball cards. I mean, I just used to love getting packs of baseball cards and reading the backs of the cards and learning about the players. And I mean, I got to the point where I had a shoebox that I went and got duct tape, and I taped the whole shoebox up in silver, the lid and everything, and wrote on it, the baseball cards and stuff, so my mom wouldn't get rid of them. And I started keeping some of the better ones in notebooks and sleeves, and I probably have some pretty good ones. I don't have a lot of great ones, but I got the Griffey one, Upper Deck Griffey rookie card when it came out. I've got one of those in great mint condition.
Wow,
I'm
that's
holding on
worth some
to.
money, dude.
But yeah, in fact, I got to the point where I had so many cards, I was going to the flea market some Saturdays and selling cards to get more money to buy more.
I was
And
like,
just
I
sort
don't
of
need
flipping
these. You
that.
can send them over to somebody
Yeah.
else that
And
needs it.
I've got boxes and boxes of just common stuff. But in fact, another thing I grabbed right here, just so I had it. This was my uh prize possession cards went into the tackle box. So,
I was just gonna say that's a
and
tackle box.
yeah,
That's
it's
not
got a little
some
sticker on here that says "I love baseball," and then for some reason I've got a "Go Falcons" sticker. I don't know why, because I've never been a Falcons fan, but um, I was going through this not too long ago, and I've got markers and pens and stuff, and all kinds of different cards in here. Sets of cards in different little boxes and all that. Team sets.
that's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, I've got some somewhere in here. I've got single cards. Michael Jordan. I think I've got some White Sox Michael Jordan cards. I've got Michael Jordan
Whoa.
basketball cards. So it all started with that. It really just started with cards. And then I always was like an autograph, not really a autograph hound or anything, but
Yeah.
I just always liked the idea of trying to get something autographed if I could. Um, and so, over the years, I tried to get either a baseball autographed or pictures or something.
Yeah.
In fact, I have over my left shoulder back here. I
See
showed
it.
that to Eric and Johnny recently, and that's my Mattingly 8x10
Don Mattingly?
autograph. Don Mattingly, he is my guy. He's the guy that I've just been a huge fan of since he came into the league. It was like all of a sudden I get a baseball card with my name on it, Donnie. I'm like, oh wow, Don Mattingly. I'm like, Donnie Baseball. It's like I just connected with him over that because it just was one of those things. And I was a Yankees fan, just
Still
randomly.
is.
So still is. So yeah, I've actually got the 8x10 that he signed, and all three of his rookie cards framed in that shadow box together there. And I bought all those cards when they came out as parts of team sets. So and they've been in that glass forever. So they haven't seen the air of the earth for years.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's one of my most prized autograph possessions. But you'll have to listen to the Earn Fun Average podcast, which
I
I
don't
think is
like
going
those
to drop
guys.
next week.
I don't like those guys. No, we don't
By
need
the
to
time
listen to
this
them.
comes out, it will have already been out. But you'll get the story of me getting that autograph. I don't want to.
No, don't give it away. No, because
I don't want to give that away.
yeah, that's specific to their episode. And
exactly.
Honestly, guys, they're really cool people. So you definitely guys got to listen to their podcast. It's really good. They're hilarious. Make sure you guys are following them.
So yeah, I've always liked to collect autographs. Like I said, I'd get like a program or something. I'd try to get players to autograph it. I started going to the Hootie and the Blowfish golf tournament when they started their Monday after the Masters tournament back in the mid '90s. The company I worked for printed all the signage, so I would always get an inside the ropes pass, and so that was great. I would carry cards and pictures and stuff. I met George Brett, got an autographed picture of George Brett.
Whoa.
Shannon Sharp, Brett Favre, a lot of different athletes, a lot of different celebrities and stuff. So I got a bunch of those programs autographed. In fact, I got Nick Faldo's autograph the day after he won the Masters in '96. He came over. He was supposed to play in the tournament, and because he won the Masters, he didn't come play in it, but he did make an appearance. And so I got his autograph the day after he won the Masters. I've got a lot of golf autographs, golf flags from the Masters.
That's cool.
And very fortunate. I've got the original Big Three. I got one flag that has both Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer on it. I've got a separate flag that I got Gary Player on. Tiger's the only one I haven't got. That's one I wanted to try to get.
That will be cool too to have to the collection.
I've actually got a picture I took of Tiger at the Masters from behind him standing on the practice green. I blew it up to a poster and kind of posterized it. So it almost looks like a painting of just the blue sky and him in the black with the Nike and Tiger Woods logo on the back of his hat. That's the one thing I'd love to get autographed one day.
That will be cool to get.
Took. It's not just some random thing. So
that will be cool to have that. Like, he's like, hey, Tiger, can you sign this real quick for me?
Exactly. I mean, I used to order some autographed baseballs back in the day. You could go on, not really online. You'd see them like in magazines and stuff, or you could just like send off for an autographed baseball. And so I got a few of those as well. And
so you have a variety of collecting items that you would fill multiple rooms, is what you're telling me.
oh yeah. I mean, it's just boxes of stuff. I've got things like, I went to Detroit Tigers spring training. I've got a foam claw from the Detroit Tigers. In Lakeland, we went down there, and I've got some hockey stuff. We used to have the Columbia Inferno hockey team. I've got a Columbia Inferno.
That's cool, because they're not around anymore.
No, they've been defunct since like 2008, and or no, 2000. Yeah, I think it was around 2008.
That's cool.
Actually,
man.
it might have been before that. I think, yeah, it's been before that. But yeah, so I've got lots of different things. Like I said, I got flags, I've got pictures, I've got programs,
and a whole bunch of hats. Let's not forget the most important part. This is how you and me connected, was the hats.
That's your fault. You got me started on that. More so than I used to. No, I shouldn't say you got me started. I used to have a huge hat collection.
Yeah.
And somehow I've in several moves, I misplaced a lot of those hats. Yep. I do have some in one of these boxes. I have a couple that I really did make sure to save. At one point I purged a lot of hats that I had. They weren't, like today's hats. They weren't fancy ones. A lot of them were snapbacks and stuff that were fairly inexpensive, but they were some cool logos I wish I still had. Some of them I actually gave away to the men's mission. I took a whole garbage bag full of hats down to local charity for the Oliver Gospel Mission for homeless men, because everybody wants a hat. Everybody needs a hat. So I took a lot of them there. And sadly, I may have taken both bags, not realizing I took the bag of the ones I wanted to keep, but I'm not sure yet.
Oh man.
So, yeah, there's a few I wish I had. In fact, I rebought 2 or 3 of those. I posted, I think, a few of those. I bought the old Greensboro bats that I used to have that had the Yankees logo on it. There was a Carolina Mudcats one I used to have with the Pirates logo on it. I still remember exactly where I bought that hat originally. And I always loved that hat because that pirate logo was cool, even though I wasn't a big Pirates fan.
Yeah, but everybody loves the Pirates. That's the thing, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and I had family in Pittsburgh, so that was kind of a little bit of a connection. But so yeah, I've got all kinds of stuff. In fact, I found going through the box, finding some stuff before tonight. I got something. I'm gonna try to send this to Paul Caputo. Maybe he'll get it before this comes out. I don't even know why I have it, but you know the old collectible plates that you used to hang on the wall?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna reach over and grab this one. I'm gonna show it to you.
I want to see it. Yeah.
Before I even say what it is. In fact, I may not say what it is because I don't know if I'll get it to. I may try to get it to him before.
Let's take a look.
This is definitely something. It's even got the all the paperwork with it, certificate of authenticity. And again, I have no idea other than I was just my mom might have been collecting these things, and anyway, I got this one.
Look at that, man. Oh yeah, he would definitely love that.
Yeah, it's like I have no idea why I have this. But it's one of these, what's this called? The Bradbury or the Bradbury or Bradford Exchange or something like that. It's got all the all kinds of stuff like the records and stuff on the back, and
that's cool. But yeah,
he would cool artwork. So
he would geek out to that thing.
Yeah, so I may send that off to him, and we'll keep it between us. You know what it is, I know what it is, and hopefully he gets it.
I never saw it. That's what
drops.
What I'm saying is that I never saw it. I don't know what it is, so he's gonna have to eventually find out by himself.
Yep. So I've got in fact I've got this is cool back here too. So I can reach and grab it. I had a friend who when we got actually a roommate of mine from college. He was on the 5-year plan and I was on the 4-year plan. So after he got out of school, he went to work up in the DC area, and he's a big baseball fan. He's a Dodger fan. I don't know how he became a Dodger fan in South Carolina, but I was a Yankees fan in South Carolina. So
I was just going to say, like, you're a Yankees fan.
But he went to Camden Yards a bunch for games, and he was at the Cal Ripken breaking the record game. He's got me a
Whoa.
6-pack of the commemorative 6-pack of Coca-Cola bottles.
Wow, look at
for
that thing, dude.
He got me a T-shirt from the game. I've actually got a T-shirt that they were selling that night that commemorates him breaking the record. I need to get that framed. I just got it folded in a box somewhere.
If you get that signed too, that will be cool.
Yeah. He also got me this this baseball that commemorates it. It's an official American League baseball with orange stitching on it.
Man, look at that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just a lot of cool stuff. Just anything like that, I just love to collect.
Yeah, little different things that are just interesting, that is unique, that you will be able to do that. Like that's why it's like I got a Game Worn helmet right now for the Mudkits. I just recently got, so things like that, like that that just catches your eye. Those are the cool things, right? Like I mean, it may not be of value to other people, but to you that means a lot because you can connect it to a story, connect it to something where you met a person or something like that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's funny because you look at some of these things, you forget about them for years, and then all of a sudden, like I said, I started going through some of these boxes. I pull something out, and it just brings back a memory, like you can almost remember where you were when you got it, kind of thing. It's like, wow, that's just pretty cool there, because sometimes I can't remember from yesterday, but I can remember things like that.
Right, but that gives you that automatically, as soon as you see it, you're like, there it is. I remember that day, and this is what happened.
Exactly. So lots of cool nostalgia like that, and just neat things. And my stepfather was here over the weekend, and I had found him and my mom lived in near Daytona, Florida, when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked for the cable company there. And so this is from September 15th of 1990. He got 2 tickets, and these are really cool commemorative tickets for the dedication of the Jackie Robinson statue at the Daytona Tortuga Stadium.
Oh my God, dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's like really cool, sort of like a ticket, but it's like parchment paper.
You definitely got to get that frame, really dude.
Cool. Yeah, I've got 2. I got both of them. I thought I only had one, and I was digging through some other stuff, and I came across the second one. So I've got both his tickets from the statue dedication at 11:30 a.m. and the Old Timers game at 12:30 p.m. on Saturday, September 15th, 1990. So thought that was very cool. I didn't get to go to that. I was married and working at the time, and living here in South Carolina. But yeah, Jackie Robinson Ballpark, Daytona Beach, Florida.
That is cool.
Yeah. So just little things like that. I mean, it's just,
dude,
I just find all these things interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we're having a conversation about this right now.
Who knows what else would be in these boxes? I mean, I've got books. There's some books I've read, some I haven't. I've got a couple here that you'll appreciate. I got the old Bo Knows Bo.
Oh my God, look at that thing with his help with the football pads and everything.
Yeah. I love that book. That book I don't even remember when that came out, but Dick Schaap helped him write that book. And the Boz, got one from the Boz.
Wow, look at that. And look at that haircut.
And there's lots of other books here. I got a lot of books I still haven't read. So I'm not a big reader, but I need to get back into reading. I want to finish a couple of other baseball books that I've seen, and some of these I've got to get through. So
I like it. That's awesome, though. Like, I mean, same here. I got a whole bunch of books here that I know that I've wanted to get, and I haven't had a chance to read them, but they're just there. And then I'm like, okay, I got to get this going, So, because I have one that I'm going to be hopefully reading soon is the I Was Right on Time, the Buck O'Neill book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those things that you're like, yeah, you gotta, I gotta find some time like you. Exactly. What I do now is I get them in audiobooks, so I can, when I go running or working out, I listen to them. That's how it is now.
That's what I should probably do some of. I have to look into that.
There it is. See, get yourself an Audible account and you're good to go.
Yeah, I've been listening to some of the podcasts on some of my walks and stuff that I've been doing lately. So
nice. I like it. Hey, that's a good way to stay healthy. I like it, my friend. I like it.
I started doing that with Pat Larson 1st of October, when he said he was going to walk at least 30 minutes every day. And he and I said, I want some of that. So he and I actually have DM'd each other every day a screenshot of our walking, how many
That
miles and how whatever it is off of our little apps. And so
love it,
we started
man.
doing that in October, and then there was a St. Jude was doing 60 miles for November
Mhm.
to raise money. I'm like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do 60 miles in November, and I hit 60 miles on Sunday. I still got 10 days to go. So
Congratulations.
I told Pat, I said, I'm gonna try to get 100 miles in November. I got 10 days. I got to average 4 miles a day. And
You
he
can do
said,
that.
I'm going to
Easy.
do it too. So Pat's in with me. We're going to both try to get 100 miles in the month of November. So
That guy, he's such a
he's so nice. I can't wait to meet him. I have not met him yet, but he
oh,
and I
he's
have
a
already
horrible
started
guy.
planning a
Super
weekend
horrible.
next year.
Yeah, no, he's not a good guy at all. No one likes he's absolutely the worst. Totally kidding.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do a home weekend where I go to Gwinnett and then he comes to Columbia, and if we can time it right, we may do a Gwinnett Fireflies and a Blowfish game.
Oh,
so maybe get two over here and one over there, maybe one weekend.
I gotta get me to a Blowfish game, definitely for sure. I gotta get that one. I love that baby blue hat that I have from the Blowfish. Is one of the coolest hats out there. So yeah, definitely gotta get down there for that. So that's how actually, you and me met in person at a Columbia Fireflies game.
Oh yeah.
I remember, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go down there, let me know. And then boom, you sent me a message and I'm like, absolutely, let's meet up. And actually we spent the whole night just hanging out.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I had that 4-top table and I told you, I said, hey, I'm not inviting anybody else to the game because you were coming and Jim was coming. Yep. I'm like, hey, you guys do your thing, and if y'all get a chance, there's 2 seats here, and y'all got done pretty quickly. The first couple of innings, y'all kind of had most of what you wanted. I mean, Jim still did a few things. I was glad to drink a beer with him and chug that on his show and all that. But yeah, that was just a great night of just us hanging out, talking baseball, watching baseball, and
it was a beautiful night too, wasn't it? I mean, it was just perfect night for baseball.
Yeah, it's like third week of April is just starting to get warm, but it's got a little bit of chill, but not much. And yeah, that was a great night, and that kind of led to me meeting a lot of other people. There were several that I missed that came to Fireflies games that we saw on Twitter that they were there when I was there, and we missed each other. But that was the one thing about this whole community that I really love and still love is all these people I've connected with through this Twitter baseball community. And just the guys I got to meet. I won't say all guys because met Lynn, and heck, I did 3 games with Lynn Smith this year. So I got to meet Dominic. He came down for a Fireflies game. Lynn was here for a Fireflies game, and then she went a few days for some other games and came back to a Blowfish game. So she and I did both games here then. I did a couple of games with Colin Wilson, and I'd like to see where that kid goes in a few years. I like his blog he did about each game, and kind of like a little travel log. That was pretty cool. And randomly ran into Virgil at a game that wasn't
another
planned.
Nice guy, right?
Yeah, another great guy. I saw his picture and I'm like, oh, he's over there behind home plate. And I messaged him and he's like, I'll come sit down there with you. And he kind of got out from behind home plate, and we sat and talked and had a good time. And then Lynn, decided to come to Chicago. Me and my wife were in the Chicago area the 1st of October, and I was going to do a Cubs game. And she's like, I'd love to do a Cubs game. I'm like, well, I'll buy you a ticket. Come on, let's go. So she came to Chicago. We did a 3rd game with her in Chicago. And
nicest lady there is. Lynn.
Oh man, so nice. And so there's a lot of other people I want to get the games with. I've got a couple I'm hoping to I'm definitely planning to do something with next year. I've got a bunch of tickets for Bananas games that you and I talked about, one of those for you guys that I went ahead and got, and so I'm hoping to catch some of the games with people there. Some of my friends are going to go to the local games, and some of the places I'm going to travel to, I'm gonna hopefully meet up with some people at those games.
That'll be cool though, because you'll get to experience it in other places, and you get to meet other people. I think that's to me, and we're talking about our community, is that it is that, right, is the fact that you get to meet people, you get to hang out with people, and you become friends with them, with a lot of them, right? And you just, that's what you cherish, right? You pull up something, my daughter has a little piggy bank that you sent her, right? And then automatically you start, reminiscing about the time that you hung out and things like that. And that's just great.
Yeah. It's just fun. I don't have a lot of close friends that love baseball like I do.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them will go to games. I mean, all my friends have gone to Fireflies games, but they see it more for what it really is in the minor leagues. It's just a night out socially, and there's just a baseball game kind of going on back there, and you keep up with it a little bit. When something exciting happens, you're involved, but at the end of the night, most of the time you probably can't even tell who did what.
Right.
You were at a game, but I don't even remember who did what unless it was a certain one that hit a home run. In fact, I've even thought next year I might try to keep a book just so I have a more of a better memory of the game.
Trying to see, that's something that I never got into is, scoring a game. I suck at it. I'll be the first one to tell you I am horrible when it comes to scoring a game. But it'll be cool to learn and to do that, right? Like just sit through a full game, not move and just, actually score that. That'll be cool to go. Some of the good people that I met, Kelly, and his wife, Christina, right? When we first met in Ohio, when I was still living there, went to a Lake Erie Crushers, right? And then he busted out his, notepad, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome. I'm so bad at it, but that's cool that you get to do that and you get to keep that as a record, just like Virgil. Virgil does the same thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, and I forgot to mention meeting Kelly and Christina. That was a highlight for me to meet those guys, and we hung out at a bar up the road for a little bit before the game, and then hung out at the game. I got to be his videographer for his. I kind of weaseled into that. I'm like, I'll go down there on the field and video you doing your first pitch. And
love it.
Like, yeah, sure. So I kind of got down there with that. And
smart man. That's a very smart man.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. But they were great people to hang out with, and I had hoped we were going to meet up with them in Chicago, but it didn't work out. But definitely going to get back up to their area and see some games up around the Chicago area. The Dogs, I think the Chicago Dogs I'd like to get to, and a couple others in that area. So
yeah, same here. Like I there's some teams that I want to get to know, to go and watch a game up there. Definitely want to get to a Northwoods League game. That'll be something cool. Like Kenosha, I want to go up there. Traverse City, some Battle Jacks games. So I want to get out there and get to experience that, because that'll be cool.
Exactly. Going back real quick to the book thing. My senior year in high school, I pretty much was the bench coach, and that's where I learned to keep a book. I didn't play as much as a senior. I got in there some, but I was kind of more of a bench guy. And that's where I learned to keep it. And then I would keep the book for a lot of the like all-stars and travel teams that I did when I was helping coach a lot of that stuff. So I've always had fun doing that. And I just, in fact, that one year I printed out my own sheets because I wanted them to be formatted the way I like to score the boxes and stuff. So I kind of went on the computer and sort of went into Adobe and created my own sheet. And I don't know if I got that file or not, but I may do that again and have myself my own little scorebook.
There you go. I love that, man. That's amazing, dude. I love that. I love that a lot. I hope you guys enjoy that episode with Donnie. Now you guys know that this is only part 1, okay? Part 2 is next week. Make sure you guys come back to listen and finish the conversation. Obviously, my famous, not so famous questions will be on part 2. But obviously, you guys already know Donnie's one of the nicest people out there, okay? So make sure you guys are following him. He's on Instagram, and he is also on Twitter, okay? Like I said, I cannot speak highly of him because he is just one of the coolest dudes out there, okay? But before I go, a couple of things. Let's take care of some business, and then I'll give you guys the dad joke of the episode. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter or on Instagram. I put the links right there on the notes. Make sure you guys are, giving the episode and the podcast 5 stars, thumbs up, whatever you guys do on each of your platforms, so that way the episode and the show gets noticed for more people. The more people we notice, the better it is. You know how this goes, okay? But again, I want to thank you, all of you, for listening. This new year has been awesome so far. Expect new and better things coming from the Dad Hat Chronicle. All right, now that we got that part out of the way, here is the joke, the dad joke of the episode. And this week, it comes from my very good friend, Paul Caputo. You guys got to listen to his podcast as well. It is really good. Here we go. How come you can't trust atoms? Because they make up everything. All right. I see myself out. And guys, until then, keep on grinding and always support the minor leagues. See ya.
This podcast is part of the Curved Brim Media Network. Here are some of the other members of Curved Brim Media.
Hi, this is Ed Rivera of the Dad Hat Chronicles. Join me as I interview people just like you and players, coaches, GMs on the path that led you to become a fan of the sport.
I'm Paul Caputo, and on the Baseball by Design podcast, I talk to minor league baseball teams, designers, and other super interesting people about what these minor league baseball logos mean. And I talk a little bit about ice cream helmets.
What's up, Bucketheads? I'm Anna DiTommaso, and each week on the Baseball Bucket List podcast, I speak with a different fan about their favorite baseball memories, what the game means to them, and what's left to check off on their baseball bucket list.
Hey guys, this is Patrick Larson from the Minor League Baseball Hat History Series, and in every episode I go through the history of minor league teams through my personal collection of hats. You can find me on Twitter at @PatLarson1. I hope you guys enjoy.
This is Patrick
and Corey
of BaseballMapper.com, and we have made an interactive map to help highlight all baseball teams from the majors down to collegiate summer leagues.
We want to bring you closer to baseball, so get on the site and find a team near you today.
Learn more about Curved Brim Media at curvedbrimmedia.com.